War just started. Markets are bleeding red. Your screen looks like a crime scene. Everyone is panicking, and you're sitting there, frozen. Do you sell everything? Do you buy the dip? Do you close your eyes and pray? Here's the thing. I've traded through 4 wars, 2 economic crashes, 1 currency collapse that wiped out entire countries, and I'm still here. By the end of this, you'll know exactly what to do when bombs drop and markets crash. You'll know the moves, the mindset, the brutal truth. Let's go. Look, I'm not your guru. I don't sell courses. Never have. Never will. I hate that stuff. I made my money the hard way. Alone. In the trenches. Watching screens while the world burned. Trading was never my passion. It was my tool. My instrument to build wealth. I'm a businessman. Always have been. But war markets? That's where real traders are made. Or destroyed. Most people, they run. They panic sell. They watch the news and react like scared animals. The few who survive? They do something different. I'm going to tell you what that is. First thing you need to understand, war markets are not normal markets. The rules change. Everything you learned, throw half of it out. When missiles fly, charts lie. I remember the first war I traded through. I was young, maybe 30, thought I knew everything. Had some wins, felt invincible. Then the invasion happened. Overnight. My portfolio dropped 40%. 40. I sat there in my apartment. Couldn't sleep. Couldn't eat. Just stared at the red numbers. My wife asked me if we were okay. I lied to her face. That night taught me something I never forgot. Here's what nobody tells you about war markets. The first drop is never the last. People see a 20% crash. They think, this is the bottom. Time to buy. Wrong. War is not an earnings report. It's not a bad quarter. War is chaos. And chaos has no schedule. The market might crash, then recover, then crash harder, then go sideways for months. I've seen it happen, over and over. In 1990, when the Gulf War started, market tanked. Then it recovered fast. People got confident. Then it tanked again when oil prices went crazy. In 2022, with the Ukraine situation, same pattern. Drop. Recovery. Drop again. Sideways confusion. The lesson? Don't try to catch the bottom during war. You will get cut. Instead, wait. Watch. Let the dust settle. I know that sounds boring. I know you want action. You want to be the hero who bought at the lowest point. But heroes in war markets usually end up broke. Be patient. Be boring. Stay alive. Now let me tell you something that took me 15 years to figure out. During war, money doesn't disappear. It moves. This is huge. Write it down. When stocks crash, that money goes somewhere. Gold, bonds, certain currencies, defense stocks, energy, commodities. The smart money? They know where it's going before it gets there. I remember sitting with an old trader in Chicago. Must have been 1995. He survived World War II. Literally. As a kid in Europe, he told me something I never forgot. Son, in war, follow the fear. What did he mean? People fear shortages. So what do they buy? Things that might run out. Oil, gas, wheat, metals. People fear instability. So what do they hold? Gold, cash, safe currencies. People fear attacks. So what goes up? Defense companies, security firms, weapons manufacturers. Sounds dark? It is. But the market doesn't care about your feelings. Never has. Never will. I'm not telling you to celebrate war. That's sick. What I'm telling you is to understand reality. Money flows to safety. Money flows to scarcity. Money flows to protection. Find those flows, and you find opportunity. Here's where most traders mess up. They watch the news. Big mistake. Listen to me carefully. News during war is not information, it's emotion. It's designed to make you feel something: fear, anger, hope, excitement. Every single feeling is a trap. I learned this the hard way. Second war I traded through. I was glued to the TV. Every headline made me react. Buy, sell, buy, sell. I was a puppet, dancing on strings held by news anchors. My account was bleeding, not from the war, from my own stupid reactions. One day I unplugged the TV. Literally, pulled the cord out of the wall. Best trading decision I ever made. I started looking only at price, only at volume, only at the actual movement of money. You know what I noticed? The market often moved before the news, like it already knew. Because it did. Big players get information first. They act first. Then the news comes out. Then regular people react. By then, the move is already done. So stop watching news for trading decisions. Use it for context only, never for action. The chart will tell you more truth than any journalist ever will. Let me tell you about a trader I knew. Called him Big Mike. Big Mike had one rule during war markets. Always have cash, not some cash. Lots of cash. He kept 50% of his account in pure cash during any major conflict. People called him a coward, called him scared. He didn't care. You know why he did this? Because opportunities come fast during war, and they come unexpected. One morning during a crisis, a major company got hit with sanctions. Stock dropped 60% in hours. Was it fair? No. The company had nothing to do with the conflict, really. Wrong place, wrong time. But Big Mike had cash. He bought that stock when everyone else was selling. 6 months later, he doubled his money. That's the power of cash during chaos. Most traders, they're fully invested. Always. They hate seeing money doing nothing. But cash is not doing nothing. Cash is waiting. Cash is ammunition. When blood is in the streets, cash is king. I keep heavy cash during every conflict now. Learned that from Mike. One of the few things I learned from anyone else. Here's another thing that changes during war. Your timeline. In normal markets, you can swing trade, hold for weeks, even months. Things move predictable. War markets? Forget that. Things change by the hour, by the minute. A ceasefire rumor can pump markets 10%. An escalation headline can crash them 20%. So you have two choices. Go very short term, day trade, scalp, get in, get out. Don't hold overnight unless you're ready for anything. Or go very long term. Zoom out. Buy strong assets you believe in, and don't look at your screen for months. The middle ground? That's where people get killed. Holding for a few weeks during war? That's torture. You'll get whipsawed, shaken out, emotionally destroyed. Pick your lane. I personally went long term during most wars, bought solid companies, closed my laptop, went and lived life, came back 6 months later, usually green. But I know traders who made fortunes day trading the chaos. They were fast, disciplined, emotionally dead inside almost, like robots. Either way works. The middle way, don't. Let me get real with you for a second. Trading during war is not really about trading. It's about survival, not just financial survival, mental survival. I've seen traders lose their minds during conflicts, literally, depression, anxiety, broken relationships. One guy I knew had a heart attack, stress. The money wasn't worth it. So here's what I learned. You have to protect yourself first. That means position sizing. Never bet so big that a bad day ruins you. Cut your normal size in half during war markets. Seriously, that means stop losses. Always. No hoping. No praying. If it hits your level, you're out. That means breaks. Turn off the screen. Go outside. See your family. Exercise. Sleep. I know this sounds soft. It's not. It's the hardest thing to do when markets are moving and your heart is racing. But the traders who lasted, they all had this discipline. Every single one. The graveyard of trading is filled with guys who couldn't stop looking at the screen. Don't join them. Now, let me give you the other side. Because it's not all doom. War markets create opportunities that normal markets never do. I'm talking generational wealth opportunities. After every major conflict I traded through, there was a moment, a window, where prices were so stupid low that buying felt wrong. It felt wrong because everyone was still scared. The news was still bad. The fear was still thick. But that was the moment. I remember after one of the crashes, I bought a shipping company. Nobody wanted it. War had crushed global trade fears. Stock was down like 75%. I held it for 3 years. Made more on that one trade than I made in the previous 10 years combined. That's the reality. The best buys of your life will feel uncomfortable. They will feel scary. Everyone around you will say you're crazy. But when the war ends, and it always ends, the recovery comes. Those who bought the fear, they win. Those who sold the fear, they regret it forever. The hard part is knowing when. And honestly, you won't know exactly. Nobody does. But if you have cash, if you have patience, if you have courage, you will find your moment. All right, let me wrap this up. I've been doing this for 40 years, seen a lot, lost some, won more, still standing. Here's what war markets taught me about life. Chaos reveals who you really are. When everything is calm, Anyone can look smart, anyone can look brave, anyone can talk big, but when bombs are falling, when markets are crashing, when fear is everywhere, that's when you see the truth. Some people freeze, some people panic, some people run, and some people get quiet, get focused, get ready, be that person, not just in trading, in life, in business, in everything. The world will always have chaos, wars, crashes, pandemics, crises we can't even imagine yet. Your job is not to avoid them. You can't. Your job is to be ready for them. Have cash, have patience, have discipline, have a plan. And the most important, have the courage to act when everyone else is frozen. That's the real edge. Not some indicator, not some strategy, not some guru's secret. Just you, your mind, your preparation, your execution. The market is a mirror. It reflects what you bring to it. Bring fear? You lose. Bring greed? You lose. Bring calm, focused, prepared action? You win. That's all I got. Now close this video and go get ready. The next war market is always coming. Will you be ready?